They had the temerity to do this knowing they were being recorded because they thought they could get away with it. And they thought that because most times, Nicole, police officers do. They're rarely prosecuted for excessive force. If Mr. Nichols had not died, these officers might not have been prosecuted in this case either.
According to the Memphis Police Department, 7 officers have now been relieved of their duties following that traffic stop that led to the death of Tyre Nichols earlier this month. That includes the 5 officers who have been terminated and charged, plus 2 others. The Memphis Fire Department has also announced 3 terminations related to Nichols' death, 2 EMTs and a lieutenant. Let's discuss with attorney and Memphis City Council member J.B. Smiley and civil rights attorney David Henderson, who is also a former prosecutor. David, do you think Paul Butler's right? I mean, it's shocking. If Tyre Nichols had not died, would these officers be facing charges and consequences?
Steph, no. And you can base that on the response of the Memphis Police Department. Basically, the message that they've chosen to send is, hey, if you beat someone to death, then we're going to hold you accountable. We're going to hold you accountable the same way we would anyone else underneath the law. But anything short of that, we'll put you on leave and we'll see. I say that because today they released a statement indicating that one of the additional officers, Officer Hemphill, who contributed to a lot of the initial violence, has not been charged with any crimes, despite the fact that he had no justification for tasing Tyre. And he initially said, as the other officers chased after him, I hope they stomp him. What he said was worse than that, but I don't want to get bleeped out on air. But here's what you have to keep in mind as we say this. They've maintained these officers don't necessarily reflect the totality of our department when they comprise, depending on which numbers you look at, 15 to 20% of an elite unit that was designed to combat crime. That'd be like you and I baking a cake, eating a slice and a half and saying, this doesn't necessarily reflect the totality of the cake, right? At what point does it begin to turn? They know it because they disbanded the unit.
JB, do we have any more insight at this point into why on earth this happened to begin with?
Absolutely not. If you look at where we were, the 2 initial officers who were forcibly pulling Mr. Nichols out of the vehicle, their body cam was off. Only thing we know is essentially speculation at this point. But what we do know is the force they used was unwarranted. Mr. Nichols did not pose a threat, and everything they did was criminal in nature. And I just want to pay particular attention to Mr. Hemphill's comments. He said if they catch him, they hope they stump him into the ground. I think that is indicative of the entire police culture, and we have to root it out.
And what are the consequences of body cam's not on? Is that just an oops, sorry, or do you have to pay some sort of price?
Well, initially in 2020, when our body implemented the 8 can't wait and the duty to keep your body cameras on, that was supposed to be a fireable offense, but it doesn't seem to be the case here. My ultimate question for our police chief is, what do you do when an individual intentionally violates policy and it appears to be no consequence? She's at the top and she has to drive home what needs to be done, and that needs to be immediate termination of everyone involved in this incident.
David, 2 additional officers relieved of their duties today. Help us understand what responsibility, what legal responsibility do all officials on the scene have?
Now, that depends on the prosecution's authority in terms of what they want to do on the case. That's a simple truth. If we were not talking about police officers, everyone would have been charged with murder under the law of parties because they all contributed to what happened. What you can say at the very least with regard to police officers is they're supposed to protect and to serve. Therefore, they never should have. I don't see any basis for concluding they ever should have stopped Tyre in the first place. And I believe if there was a basis, we would have heard of it by now. They never should have stopped him in the first place. And once he was stopped, everyone had a responsibility to shut it down. They definitely shouldn't have participated in assaulting him and let that escalate to the point where they literally beat him to death. So everyone who had any knowledge of what happened should be held accountable. And there's a really good contrast here, Steph, to a case that you and I talked about before, and that was the murder of George Floyd and the prosecution of Derek Chauvin. The testimony I still remember most to this day was the second paramedic who arrived on the scene. And when he was questioned on the stand, he said, as a human being, I was trying to give him a second chance at life. After they beat him to the point where he was no longer moving, Everyone had a duty to try their best to help him, and they might have been able to save him. And for not doing so, they should be held criminally accountable.
David, we heard from Republican Senator Tim Scott now signaling that he is open to working on police reform. Do you think that's true? Do you think there's actual political will on the Republican Party side? Or is that just a convenient soundbite that'll move on after today and nothing will come of it?
I have to start with a caveat because I work with one of the last living links to Dr. King, and he reminds me every day we have a moral obligation for those of us who are committed to civil rights. We have a moral obligation to maintain hope. But under these circumstances, it's really difficult to do it because my basic answer is no. They are not committed to police reform. And the reason I say that is because there's no such thing as police reform without qualified immunity. I've heard policymakers say, well, you know what, let's negotiate everything else and maybe we can come back and deal with that. That would be like you and I going to the dealership, buying a car and leaving the wheels there saying, we can come back and negotiate on those later on. When the truth is, the vehicle doesn't work without them. And Republicans are not going to compromise on that.
Then, JB, is local police reform more realistic given the makeup of Congress? I mean, we've already seen the Scorpion unit disbanded in Memphis.
Well, disbanding the Scorpion unit is essentially surface level reform because the administration has the ability to create another department, another unit, and simply call it Spider and give them the same responsibilities. But on the local level in Memphis, our most powerful lobbying force, our most powerful union is the police association. We attempted to reform in 2020. They came to our council chambers and told us no. And it's hard to get 7 votes when the majority of your council, the majority of the elected members in City Hall are supported by the police association. If you want meaningful change, we need the activists, the community leaders to show up at the council chambers on February the 7th. So when we pass or put forth meaningful legislation to create or bring about change, we are able to get it done.
And do you think there is any more will, additional will, following the death of Tyre Nichols, JB?
It appears to be so. You know, my body is a nonpartisan body, and I had one of my Republican colleagues reach out to me, and he's willing to help co-sponsor some of my legislation to bring about change. I'm hopeful, and I'm hopeful that the community shows up in support of our data transparency order, our ordinance to address body cam footage, having an independent person review it on a weekly basis, and some of my more progressive legislation.
JB Smiley, David Henderson, thank you both for being here.